So this is our strength and stretch class. We'll be using just a set of those medium or heavy weights. You can grab a couple different sets if you'd like. I'm just using 8 pounds just for reference. And let's start with our warm-up. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Draw your knees up towards your chest. Strong point through your toes. All right, see you later, Lola. Warming up your lower body here. Hi, Kishwar, welcome. We're just getting started with our warm-up. Set of medium to heavy weights. Go ahead and take that knee up and over to a side lunge, pressing your hips back. Knee drive up and open. One more time each side. Come down to a low, wide squat. Feet are wider than your hips, toes turned out, arms out to a T. Bend and extend your knees. Chest stays lifted. Today's class is every minute on the minute. So we have 5 rounds. We normally do them 3 or 4 times. We're doing 5 today. The first round we do it for 40 seconds, 20-second stretch. I want you to count your reps. The next 4 rounds, we're trying to get to that number. Anytime after that is your stretch. Hold to bend the knees, tiny circles with your arms. Palms facing down. Reverse that circle. Reach down, tap towards the opposite inside foot. Slow and steady. Coming back to stacking the shoulders over the hips, bending the knees. You've got it. Keep it going. One more time on each side. Come through center. Hinge forward at your waist. Give yourself a nice big hug and then squeeze your shoulder blades together as you lift your arms up towards the ceiling. 2 more. Last one. Gently release your right knee down. Untuck your right toes. Press forward into that left knee. Chin and chest is lifted. Gently draw your hips back. Straighten that left leg. Point flex. Circle out your left ankle. Hold the toes flexed. Hinge forward, framing over your left leg. If you're just joining us, no worries. We're just getting started with the warm. Make sure you warm up as much as you need to. We'll need a set of medium to heavy weights. I have 8 pounds just for reference. Go heavier, go lighter. Rise up, switching sides, left knee down. Big step forward with that right foot, pressing into that right knee. Today's class is every minute on the minute. Remember, you got 5 rounds. The first round, I want you to count how many reps you do in those 40 seconds. Beyond that, we're stretching. Draw the hips back, straighten that right leg, point flex, circle out that ankle. Hold the right toes flexed, hinge forward. So our first move, we're going to grab 2 weights, 1 weight in each hand. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. We're going to come down to a squat to an overhead press. That is 1 count. So again, remember to count your reps. The 2nd through the 5th rep that we're doing, we're going to try to get to that rep count. Slowly roll up, roll your shoulders up and back. Roll them up and forward. Shake it out, stretch anything else that you may need to. We're grabbing those set of weights here. And we're going for our first round. Again, count those reps. Squat to overhead press, that is 1 count. I want you to count those reps. You got 40 seconds. Going in 3, 2, and 1. Remember, we're doing this 5 times through, so slow and steady. Squat to overhead press. Remember to count your reps. The 2nd through 5th round that we're doing, I want you to get to that rep count. Anything beyond that, you're welcome to go if you just cruise on through. Or come into that stretch. Squat to overhead press. You got 15 seconds. That's it, last 7. 3, 2, and 1. Set those weights down. Widen your stance. Hinge forward, come into a ragdoll. This is your stretch for our squat to overhead press. So that next round coming up, I want you to get to that rep count and then come into this ragdoll swaying side to side. All right, here we go. Round 2 of 5. Weights to your shoulders. Squat down. Press it up. Get to that rep count. Do what you can. When you get to that count, come into that wide-legged forward fold, grabbing opposite elbows. You can hold it there. You can have a bend in the knees or straighten the legs and just sway side to side. You're coming up on that 20-second remaining mark. You should be close to that count. When you get there, set those weights down. You're going at your own pace here today, every minute on the minute. It's on your count. Using that count that we did in the first rep. All right, come back to center, grab those weights. Weights to your shoulders, low squat. Sink your hips in towards your heels. Maybe lifting your toes in that squat. As you rise up, stack your shoulders over your hips, keep them there, and press those weights up high overhead. Knuckles towards the ceiling. You're 30 seconds in. You should be getting close. This is round 3 of 5. You've got it. When you get there, come into that stretch. Remember, ragdoll. Wide-legged forward fold. Let everything hang loose. Got 2 more rounds. Continue with that stretch for 2. And 1. All right, grab those weights. Come back into it. Low squat. Overhead press. Both arms reaching up high. Try to get to that rep count. So if you sped through that first round and try to get as many as you could, you're going to notice it now. Remember, you got 5 rounds to complete these rep counts. So you're not trying to get as many as you can in that first round. You just want to count, going slow and steady. You're coming up on that 20-second mark. You should be close. Come into that wide-legged forward fold, ragdoll. You got 1 more round after this, and then we're moving on. All right, walk the feet in, rise up. This is it. Last time, try to get to that rep count. We've got a 20-second breather in between this stretch, if you will, and the next move. Well, that's when we'll come into that stretch. Additional forward fold with that ragdoll. We've got lower body next. Keep it going. Low squat. Overhead press. You're halfway. Are you close? Keep it going. Weights to your shoulders, sinking your hips down low. Chest stays lifted. Firing up those legs. Reach it up high. You got 17 seconds. When you get to that count, set the weights down. Widen your stance, toes slightly turned in, have a slight bend in the knees or as deep as you'd like. Fold forward, grab those opposite elbows. All right, 20 seconds. If you haven't already, come into that stretch. We're going to grab 2 weights, 1 weight on each shoulder. We have calf raises next. Release your bind, come on up, grab those weights, bring those weights to your shoulders, feet are hip width apart and parallel. Lift and lower the heels. Count how many times you're lifting and lowering your heels. That's 1 count. Remember that number. The goal from the 2nd round to the 5th round is to get to that rep count of your calf raises. Once you get to that count, come into your stretch. You got 15 seconds here. Continue counting. Those calves are going to be on fire. Let's say after the 5th round, probably after the 3rd round. Keep it going. You got 3, 2, and 1. Set those weights down. So we have 2 stretches here on the right side and then on the left side. Draw that heel down, elbow towards that same toe, and then switch. So for the next 4 rounds, you can do 1 full stretch on one side, 1 full stretch on the other side, your choice. All right, grab those weights. Make the best use of your time. Calf raises, weights to your shoulders. Lift and lower your heels. Coming up high on your tippy toes. Maybe coming up onto the ball of your foot. Doing what you can today. Keeping those weights on your shoulders. If the weight on your shoulders is bothering you, you can always bring the weights by your side. All right, 20-second mark, you should be close. When you finish that rep count, come into that stretch, heel press down, same elbow towards the toes. You can do half and half, or you can do 1 full round on one side, 1 full round on the other side. You got 7 seconds. Get ready to pick up those weights in 2 and 1. Here we go. Calf lift and lower. You got it. 15 seconds down. Abs are engaged here. Slowly lift, slowly lower. Halfway. You should be getting close to that rep count. "20 seconds remaining. Come into that stretch when you get to that rep count. "10 more seconds. Maybe switching legs if you're doing both sides. All right, grab those weights. Bring the weights to your shoulders or by your side. Calf raises, round 3 of 5. Lift and lower. We're gonna give that lower body a little bit of a break next. We've got triceps coming up next. May or may not be better. Keep it going. Calf lift, calf lower. Make this your best round yet. You've got 1 more round after this, slow and steady. Get to that rep count. When you get there, that's when you stretch. 20 seconds remaining, you should be close. Last 10 seconds before we come into our 5th round, maybe switching sides if you're doing both legs. All right, grab those weights. Here we go. Lift and lower. "15 seconds down. Pace yourself. Halfway. You've got it. Stay with it. "20-second mark. All right, when you get there, set those weights down. Come into your stretch. You got 7 seconds here. All right, 20-second breather or continuation of that stretch. Next up, we have tricep straight arm press back. So 1 weight in each hand. Choose your weight wisely. All right, come out of your stretch, grab those weights. Feet are hip width apart and parallel, slightly hinged forward, bending your knees, palms facing in. Lift and lower, that's 1 count. Keep those arms straight. Keep those arms close into your body. Remember, you're gonna do this 5 times. Slow and steady. As fast as you lift those arms, I want you to keep the lowering at the exact same speed. 15 seconds to go. Keep with the count. Lift and lower. That's it. 5 seconds. We're going to come into our first stretch. Last 2. Gently set your weights down. Quickly bring your arms overhead. Draw that right elbow wide for a tricep stretch. Just releasing your right hand to your left shoulder, maybe between your shoulder blades. Open and switch. So for the next 4 rounds, you can do 1 tricep stretch, or you can double it, making it a quick stretch. All right, grab those weights. Get to that count. Pulse it up. Bring it down. I'll let you know when we're halfway. I'll let you know when we're at that 20-second mark remaining, so you know where you're at. You should be close when you get to that 30 seconds. Keep your gaze forward. Straight arm, tricep press backs. Half mark, here we go. 30 seconds remaining. Stay with it. Keep it going. When you get to that count, set the weights down, come into your overhead tricep stretch. You've got 7 seconds. All right, round 3, here we go. Grab those weights, hinge forward, lift and lower. Now those elbows, they start to bend. Take out that bend, keep them straight. You should feel this in your triceps. Keep your gaze forward to avoid straining your neck from looking side to side. Lift and lower. Halfway mark, stay with it. When you get to that count, come into that overhead tricep stretch. You can do one side for that full stretch and then switching to the other side, or you can do 2. You got 15 seconds. Chin lifted in your stretch. Round 4 and 5. 3, 2. All right, release your stretch. Grab those weights. Tricep, straight arms. Lift and lower. Keep your gaze down. A few foot placements in front of your toes. That'll avoid straining your neck. You've got it. All of the work is in your triceps. Ground through your feet. Soft bend in your knees, maybe hinging forward. All right, 25 seconds. Once you get there, come into that stretch. You've got 17. We've got 1 more round after this. 10 seconds, maybe switch sides if you're doing double. We're going in 5. That's 2. All right, release your stretch. Grab those weights. Last time for those triceps. Lift and lower. All right. We've got glutes coming up next. So we're going to be in a wide squat. 1 weight or 2 weights. We're going to bring those weights between our heels as we rise up, just like we're pulling a cord from between our legs and up towards our rib cage, towards our hips. You've got it. You're at that 25-second mark. Are you close to that rep count that you first got on that first round? When you get there, come into that stretch. You got 15 seconds. When you get there, set those weights down, come into that stretch. Remember, you got 20 seconds after this full minute. 20 seconds to go. Maybe switch which arm you're stretching. So again, wide stance, toes turned out. We're gonna have a bend in the knees. We're gonna grab that weight. We're gonna reach down in between, hinge forward, rise up, squeeze your glutes, hinge back forward. That's 1 count. Here we go. Hinge forward, just like you're trying to pull a rope between your thighs. Squeeze up, hinge forward as you reach that weight in your hands between your heels, maybe past your heels. See how far you can go. You got 15 more seconds here to stay with your count. Keep your back flat. Avoid arching or rounding your spine. Pretend cable pull-throughs for 3, 2. All right, release that weight down. Keep your stance wide. Bring your hands towards your thighs or your toes. Bend and extend your knees. Gorilla stretch. You can also grab the outside of your ankle if you don't want to place your hands under your feet. 5 more seconds and we're going round 2. All right, grab 1 or 2 weights. Here we go. Get to that rep count. You're keeping those feet nice and wide. Reach under and through. Deep bend the knees. Rise up. As you rise up, squeeze your glutes. Bring that weight just in front of your pelvis. Keep a soft bend in your knees. Arms are straight. Reach down, just like you're pulling a cable from behind and up. Got it. All right, 20-second mark is here. When you get to that count, set the weight down. Come into your gorilla stretch. Deep bend the knees. You can bend and extend the knees. Hands to your outside ankles or under your feet. Round 3, coming up here. Grab that weight. Reach it under and lift. Keep it going. Reach and pull. 20 seconds down, less than 40 to go. Are you about halfway through that count? You've got it. Reach through and forward directly in front of your hips. Keep those arms straight. Anybody else's glutes on fire now? You got 20 seconds remaining. Come into that gorilla stretch. Once you finish, set those weights down. Keep the feet wide. Grab your outer thighs, outer ankles, underneath your feet. Bend and extend your knees. All right, grab that weight. Here we go. Reach under and forward. You've got it. Reach it under and through. Reach it forward. Keep it going. You are halfway there. 30 seconds remaining. Squeeze those glutes. Reach and stretch. As you rise up, squeezing those glutes. 20 seconds remaining. Last 12. When you get to that count, you know what to do. Set the weight down. Come into that stretch. All right, come on up. Here we go. 5th and final round. Now after this, we're going to come onto the floor on our back for the last 3 moves. Squeeze your glutes to the top. Stretch, reaching down between your ankles. Maybe past your ankles. Flat back. Avoid arching around your spine. 30 seconds down. When you get to that rep count, enjoy that stretch. We've got chest and upper body next to start with on the floor. All right, 15 seconds remaining. When you're ready, come into that stretch. You still got 20 seconds. Either hold that stretch, maybe grab some water, maybe come into any other stretch. We're gonna be on our back next. Feet are bent, hip width apart and parallel. Feet are flat on the floor. One weight in each hand. Elbows tracking out from your shoulders, slightly lower than your shoulders. You guessed it, wide arm chest press. Here we go. Lift and lower. One tap, and then an elbow tap is one count. Count your chest presses. As you lower your elbows, maybe they tap the floor. Maybe they hover. If they're tapping, avoid letting them rest there. It's a quick transition from an elbow tap to a lift, but the entire movement is slow and steady. You got 7 more seconds here with your chest press. Last 2. Set the weights down. Bring your elbows out, palms facing up, snow angel arms. For anyone who's also in the DMV area, anyone else dealing with the snow, you're probably pretty familiar with these snow angels. We're going for round 2 in 3, 2. All right, grab those weights. Elbows tracking out slightly lower than your shoulders. Press up and release down. Keep it going. Press up, release down. Get to that rep count of your chest presses. When you get there, release those weights down. Bring your palms facing out to open up your chest and your shoulders, and then draw your pinkies in towards your hips, and then reach your thumbs up overhead, just like a snow angel. All right, your 15 seconds remaining. You should be close, if not already. Come into that stretch when you're ready. Round 3 coming up in 2 and 1. Grab those weights. Here we go. Get to that rep count. Lower back is pressed in towards the floor. Elbows tracking out towards the outer edge of your body, slightly lower than your shoulders. And then drawing your thumbs or the front outer weight up towards one another. All right, 22 seconds remaining. Have you gotten to that rep count? Are you already in the snow angels? When you get to that count, give me those snow angels. Maybe your top of your hand, your wrist are hovering or gliding across the floor. We're going in 3, 2. All right, grab those weights. Here we go. Press it up, release it down. Engage your abs here. So we tend to just focus on our chest and our arms. Don't neglect your core. Draw your navel into your spine and up to the crown of your head. Continue to breathe. Using the floor as a splint by laying on our back is the easiest way to engage our abs. Engage your glutes. You're halfway there, 30 seconds down, less than 30 remaining. Get to that rep count. If you get there too fast, maybe give me an extra 1 or 2, and then come into those snow angel arms. Last 15, and we're going to be on our back for the next 2 moves as well. Last 3. All right, grab those weights. Here we go. Last round, chest press. So for your next move, as you continue to count, I'll let you know what's coming up next. We're going to keep those 2 weights and we're going to bring them on our hips. Can you guess what we're going to do? Yep, they're glute bridges. So we're going to fire up those glutes. Keep it going. Chest press. Bend and extend those elbows. 30 seconds down. You've got it. When you get to that rep count, if you're already there, give me a couple more. Then you've got another 20-second Stretch at the end. All right, your 16 seconds remaining. When you get to that count by now, go ahead and draw those snow angel arms. So we've got glute bridge next. Last 3. Keep with those snow angel arms. If you're already there, if you haven't already started them, go ahead and start them. So a few options for your glute bridge, but whichever option you pick, I want you to stick with it for all 5 rounds. You can zip your feet and your knees and your thighs together. You can draw your feet and your hips and your knees hip width apart and parallel, or walk your knees out. Your choice. Weights to your hips. Here we go. Lift and lower. Glute bridge. Tapping down, lifting back up. Do not forget to count. You want to get to that rep count for the next 4 rounds after this. Glute bridge, lift and lower. Remember, the first round, you got 40 seconds to get to that rep count. The next 4 rounds, you're going to get to that rep count and then stretch. 10 more seconds. All right, release your hips, release the weights. Draw your right ankle on your left thigh. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. Quick transition, come back to center, plant your right foot, left ankle over your right thigh, side to side. These are your stretches. Do both to make them short and sweet, or do one on each side. When you're ready, come back to center, plant those weights on your hips, glute bridge, lift and lower. When you get to that rep count, come back into that figure 4, side to side. Squeeze your glutes to the top. Squeeze your glutes as you gently lower the hips down. Keep it going. Lift and lower. Remember your options. You can draw your feet wider than your hips, toes turned out. You can bring your feet and knees hip width apart and parallel. 20 seconds remaining. You should be close. Or zipping your feet, your knees, and your thighs together. When you get to that count, give me that figure 4, side to side. You can do each side or just one side. You got 7 seconds. Finish up that stretch. Come back into your glute bridge. This is round 3 of 5. Glute bridge, lift and lower. You are barely tapping down and lifting right back up. Engage your abs. Lift your hips. Keep your shoulders pressed in towards the floor, regardless of the placement of your feet and your knees. You want the focus to be on your glutes. Keep it going. 25 more seconds remaining. You should be close. When you get there, give me that figure 4. Ten more seconds. All right, here we go. Round 4. Lift and lower, glute bridge. Stay with it. Find your focus. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe gazing up towards the ceiling. You got 25 seconds. Last 20. When you get there, figure 4, side to side. All right, you got one more round of this. Find your stance, find your placement of your feet and those weights that you started with, and give me those glute bridge tap and lifts. Engage your abs, squeeze your glutes. Just the hips are lifting and lowering. Lift and lower. You've got 30 seconds to go. If you're already at that rep count, keep going. Do a little bit more because you can. All right, 20 seconds. If you haven't already and you already met that rep count, go ahead and lower down, come into that stretch. Side to side. Now we have an option to use one weight or no weights for our last round. You got 20 seconds remaining. Maybe switch sides if you start at that 20-second mark. So we've got suitcase crunches. You can keep your hands by your hips. Keep going with the stretch. I'll show you what we're going to do next. You can bring your fingertips facing your hips. Extend, crunch in. That's one count. You can reach your hands towards your outer ankles, or you can grab that weight. We're going and we're counting. Extend, crunch it in. Suitcase crunch. Remember, you're not just doing this once. You're not just doing it twice. You're doing it 5 times. Remember that when you're doing your rep count, slow and steady. You got 15 seconds remaining. Keep it going. Remember to count. Last 3. All right, get to that rep count. Extend your arms and legs long in opposite directions. Create a tiny arch in your lower back. This is your stretch. Just breathing, reaching long, opposite directions. Hands and feet on the floor. Round 2 coming up in 3, 2, and 1. Hands on the floor, reaching your hands towards your outer ankles. Doing what you can. Crunch and extend. You've got it. Reach and crunch. Stay with it. When you get to that rep count, come into that stretch. Reach your legs out long. Hip width apart and parallel. Reach your arms overhead, shoulder width. You got 25 more seconds. When you get there, come into that stretch. If you want more, keep going. Maybe add a weight between your palms. Round 3 coming up in 5. All right, round 3 right here. Challenge yourself. If you have your hands by your hips, maybe try lifting your arms, reaching towards the outside of your knees, your ankles. If you have your arms lifted and that's not hard enough for you, you want more of a challenge, grab that weight between your palms. Hold it at heart center. As you extend your legs, extend your upper body, shoulders hovering. Crunch it back in. You're halfway. Stay with it. Yes, you can. 25 seconds remaining. Almost there. Extend and crunch. 20 seconds. When you get there, just reach long, opposite directions. All right, round 4, here we go. You got one more round after this. Give it your all. If you start to feel it in your hip flexors, that's okay. Bring your hands down. Maybe draw your legs up towards the ceiling at any diagonal. The lower your legs are towards the floor, the more challenging it is. Always go for a challenge, but make any adjustments if you feel any pinching anywhere in your body. You want discomfort because you want your muscles to feel it, but you don't want to be in pain. 20 seconds remaining. You should be close to that stretch if you're not already there. Arms and legs long. Just think you only have one more round of this. And then we come into our final cool down and stretch. We're going in 3, 2. All right, bring it on up. Suitcase crunch, extend, crunch it in. That's it. Reach those legs out long. Hover at a diagonal, your choice. Try keeping those legs zipped. Maybe your hands are by your hips. Maybe your hands are reaching towards the outer knees, outer ankles. Maybe you have that weight. You're halfway. Do what you can. As you reach your arms and legs long in opposite directions, hover your shoulders. That's it. Last 20 seconds. Keep it going. You haven't gotten to that rep count. When you get there, roll on back. Stretch and reach. All right, come into that stretch and reach just for 20 seconds. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale and exhale. All right, draw your knees into your chest. Curl yourself into a tight ball by grabbing your shins or the back side of your thighs. You can roll side to side. Gently rock back to center. Rock and roll yourself a few times along your spine. As many times as you'd like or as little as you need. Before crossing your ankles, coming up to a standing position. Widen your stance, feet wider than your hips, toes are turned out. Sweep both arms up high. Reach the arms overhead. Release your right hand by your right navel. Side bend over to the right. Left bicep to your left ear. Inhale, come back through center, arms overhead. Exhale. Side bend over to the left. Bring your left hand to your left navel, side bend over to the right. Inhale, rise up. One more time, deep breath. Tee out the arms. Rotate, look over your right leg. Stay here. You can come down halfway. Feel that stretch in your right glute, or you can fold forward, framing your right leg. Wherever you're at, bend and extend just into that right knee. Left leg stays straight. One more time. Wherever you're at, walk through center. Tee out the arms. Use your abs. Roll up. Arms out to a T. Rotate. Pivot over your left leg. Stay here. Come down halfway. Maybe fold all the way down, framing that left foot. Maybe bringing your nose towards your knee. Wherever you're at, how deep you are, bend and extend into that left knee. Right leg remains straight. One more time. No matter how high or how low you are, walk through center. Place your hands on your thighs. Bend and extend both of your knees. Staying upright or hinging forward. Keep a deep bend in both knees. If you're forward, come up slightly halfway. Inhale, exhale, twist, look over your left shoulder. Press your knees open. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, look over your right shoulder as you press your knees open. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, come back through center, forward fold. Slowly roll up. When you get to the top, roll your shoulders up and back. Roll them up and forward. Nice big inhale. One more just for good luck. Fantastic work today, everyone. Thank you all so very much for joining me. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day.